Hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse. My name is George, and if this is your first time here, or you've been here before but have not subscribed yet, please do so, along with hitting that thumbs up button for me and dropping your comments. Definitely want to hear your thoughts and feelings about this loss. Game 5 is in the books. The New York Knicks, it was a back-to-back home-and-home series between the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Knicks took care of business last night. They came to MSG tonight and dropped a game to the Cavs that they could have won. It was always going to be difficult. RJ didn't play. His knee's a little banged up. I remember the play. He banged it up a little bit, but he was able to get through yesterday. But, second game on a back-to-back, it was good caution to sit him out. I don't know how bad the knee actually hurts him, but he looked good last night. So we'll see. Maybe it's just some soreness, some tenderness he woke up with, and they just decided, you know what, why risk it? Well, when that happens, when your number one offensive player of this very, very young season so far sits, then that means everyone else has to step up, right? Right? Isn't that what that means? Well, didn't quite work out that way. Let's go. Here it is. Knicks could not even break 90. 80. They lost 95 to 89. And you know what? There was moments there where they didn't even look like they were going to break 80. Honestly, they were struggling. And the scary part is the Cavs were willing to give this game to the Knicks. They were willing to give it to them, but the Knicks couldn't quite put it together. At one point, you see the orange line is the Knicks and the white line is the Cavs. At one point, the Knicks cut this deficit down because, look, the Cavs did not score for over a 6-minute stretch. That's right, in that fourth quarter, giving the Knicks plenty of time to make a nice little comeback, which they managed to do. They cut it within 2 points. It was 79-77, but the Knicks could only manage another 12. Another 12 points for the rest of the game, and the Cavs got 16, and that was it. That was the game. Donovan Mitchell started out the first half on fire. He carried those Cavs, carried them. In fact, he scored 23 points in that first half. On 7 of 12 shooting, hit 5 of 7 from the three-point line. That's right, 5 of 7. But the Cavs could not. The Knicks actually had the lead at the half. So it looked like, you know what? Maybe the Knicks can pull this game out. Maybe Randle will catch fire in that third quarter. Maybe Brunson will have some fourth quarter heroics. Wasn't meant to be. Knicks came out in that third quarter and got spanked, but they only allowed 22 points. So it should have been a lot worse, but they only managed to score 13 points themselves. Atrocious. In fact, in that third quarter, the Knicks only hit 1 of 8 from the three-point line, 12.5% from the three-point line. They shot 6 of 24 overall, 25%. The Cavs, they weren't much better necessarily from the three-point line. They shot 1 of 5. So, they shot 3 less from there, but they made 3 additional buckets inside the arc, which is what gave them the lead. And also they got to the free throw line a lot more than the Knicks in this game. The night before was the third quarter was the quarter of death for the Cavs. They came out, and they're the ones who shot 1 for 9 the night before. Tonight, Knicks shot 1 for 8. So the team that doesn't make their threes in that third quarter in this series is the team that walks away with the sting of a loss at home. Both road teams won these games between the Cavs and the Knicks. Crazy. The other crazy part is that Mitch Robinson was hitting some free throws. That's right. He's been working on it, and he managed to hit 4 of 8 from the three-point line. Shot 50%. I'll tell you, I'll take that from Mitch. But the outstanding aspect of him was his rebounding. Now, there were plenty of rebounds to get because there were a lot of missed shots, but he got 16 boards, 8 offensive and 8 defensive rebounds. Excellent for him. But Julius Randle plays 35 minutes. 35 minutes. Julius Randle, I'm going to get into this right now. Julius Randle plays 35 minutes, makes 3 buckets, shoots 3 for 15, misses all 6 of his three-point attempts, only gets 6 rebounds. They get 4 dimes, which for him is not that much. 6 points. for him. It was, I mean, I couldn't believe his futility. He was passing up shots and then forcing himself into a situation where he had to take more difficult shots to make. Some turnaround fadeaways that just had no chance of going in. I'm beginning to, I said that it would take about a month. I thought a month for him to get into his regular shape, because I'm factoring in, that he could not train in the off season because of his the surgery in his ankle. So, okay, and he didn't play any 5-on-5, so he wasn't gonna be sharp. He barely played in the preseason, and he didn't look good. He hasn't looked good at all. So let's just be perfectly frank. He has not looked good, and even on defense, he hasn't looked good. There were some high pick and rolls where, he was supposed to switch, didn't switch, kind of dropped back to around the free throw line, gave up a wide open three. I think it was to Spida, or it might have been to Levert. But that happened a couple of times, just caught out of position. And who was guarding him? George Niang. George Niang was guarding him. He should have been smoking George Niang. He should have been eating George Niang for dinner, for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. He should have had a snack in between. He should have put up a 40-piece tonight. No. Because that's what we needed from him. That's how you win. I mean, what kind of team we want to be? Are we going to be a good team? Are we going to be a team that can win even when we don't have all our best players? Because we have that continuity. We have that familiarity. Well, didn't really work that way. In fact, the one guy who, two guys. There were two notables tonight, other than Mitch and his defense, tremendous rebounding. But it was Immanuel Quickley and Donte Divincenzo. Immanuel Quickley tonight in 27 minutes scored 18 points, shot 7 of 16. Didn't make a three. He did make one 3-pointer, but apparently his foot was on the line a bit, so they called it back, or else he would have gotten credit for that extra point. But 6 rebounds himself. He equaled Randle's output playing 8 less minutes. 6 rebounds, 4 assists. Same for Quickley. In fact, he was one of the ones that sparked this comeback that we're talking about here. When the Knicks were, the defense was excellent for them in that fourth quarter, and the Cavs wanted to give us this game. They looked tentative. They looked like they didn't know what they were doing. Mobley looked out-muscled by Mitch. But Mobley ended up with a decent game, 6 of 12 overall, 14 points, didn't attempt any 3-pointers, picked up 8 rebounds, but got 5 dimes, Mobley. Mobley's a playmaker for a big. I really like that guy. But George Niang out-rebounded Julius Randle tonight. He got 10 boards. And he got 5 points. He got 1 point less than Randle. I don't know. Right? I'm stunned. The other player that did very well for the Knicks was Donte Divincenzo. As you can see here, Donte scored 16 points, shot 5 of 10 overall, 3 of 7 from the 3-point line. Nice game. He even finished a couple times around the hoop, which is something that, or actually, yeah, he did finish around the hoop. There was one particular play I saw, and then he dunked the other one, so you can't really count that. But he had a nice finish around the hoop, because I was worrying that he was someone who could get to the rim but not finish. That frustration. But he's starting to show that he can do that. Isaiah Hartenstein actually had a pretty nice first half himself, but disappeared in the second half. And let's see. So I mentioned Quentin Grimes. But the one guy I haven't talked about yet, well, there's 2. Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson, the Nova boys. So Brunson plays almost 40 minutes. Okay, almost 39 minutes. He needs 23 field goal attempts to give us 24 points. That kind of efficiency is just trash. As you can see, the Knicks shot 34.8% overall for the whole game. Shot only 16.7% from the 3-point line. You cannot win in the NBA when you shoot that poorly. Wow. This was a bummer of a game. And if you didn't see it, honestly, you didn't miss much, because this is not the Knicks. This is not the Knicks. I know the defense was there, but also the Cavs were flat as well. I feel like if we had played another team on the second game of a back-to, like, let's say we've had 2 back-to-backs already this season, and we've only played 5 games. So it's been a brutal early schedule for the Knicks. The first 6 games were going to be brutal, but really you can count the first 10 as being brutal. So it's being floated out there. Hey, man, if we just end up 5-5 after the first 10 games, we'll count this as a victory of sorts. Now, if you're a good team, you should be doing better than that. You should be at least like 6-4 at least in those 10 games. I know there were tough battles, and you got the back-to-backs, but still. But right now, we're under 500. The Knicks fell to 2-3. And the other major disappointment, other than Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle, was actually Quentin Grimes. And at first I thought, ooh, this might be the game that he snaps out of it. Because in that first quarter, let's see, what did he do in that first quarter? Because I thought he was pretty effective in that first quarter. He wasn't. 1 of 4 overall, 0 for 3 from the three-point line, played 8 minutes, 2 points, 2 rebounds. But he did get 1 steal. But that kind of offensive output on a night when RJ Barrett is not there, you should be the one that steps up and fills those shoes. Somebody has to. But you're the starter in there. Now, Josh Hart was one who actually started in place of RJ, but Quentin Grimes is higher on the shot freedom, and not shot freedom, but he's higher in priority in terms of who should take shots. It would be Quentin Grimes when RJ Barrett is not on the court. Josh Hart, 10 minutes in that first quarter. He hit 2 of 3. Hit 1 3-pointer, which was nice. He hit the only 3-pointer the Knicks had in that first quarter because they went 1 for 7 in that first quarter. Finished with 5 points himself. He was the high. Actually, Brunson finished with 6 points in that first quarter. But overall, for the whole game, it was truly disappointing. He took 14 field goal attempts and gave us 11 points. That's kind of like, RJ from the beginning of last season. So Josh Hart did his best impersonation of RJ of 2022. So what we needed someone is to do a 2024 version of a 2023 version of RJ. So that didn't know where it was going to come from, but there were plenty of people who had opportunities, and none of them came through tonight. The plus minus is kind of an odd stat line here tonight. The game was, pretty close most of the time. I think at one time the biggest lead was just 5 points. It was that had been the biggest lead. Then it finally got up to 9 points. They stretched it out, but then the Knicks battled back and cut it down to 2 of the deficit. But as you can see, Randle -1. Mitch was only -4 for Randle. Mitch was a -1. Brunson a -6. And Brunson, people are definitely targeting him. They're making switches out on the perimeter to get the ball into whoever Brunson is covering. So this is just something that we're going to have to keep dealing with. I think we can overcome it, especially since Brunson, I believe he took 3 or 4 charges in this game, and 3 were in that first quarter, even I think, or the first half maybe. So there's some issues defensively, but when you look at the end result, they pulled it out. I mean, they only allowed 95. They kept the team under 100 points. The problem is they couldn't even score over 90. Man, disappointing. It makes you wonder if RJ had been, healthy and available to play this game, even though he did play the night before, how this game would have gone. But at the same time, the Cavs were missing 2 key guys. Jared Allen sat out again, and Darius Garland as well. I didn't see Allen on the bench there, but I saw Darius Garland. So they were missing a 20-plus point scorer on their team right there. So, they were definitely you can make excuses for the Cavs, but they came out and won anyway. They really wanted this game. Really wanted it. You can tell Spida really wanted it, but he went ice cold in that second half, man. Ice cold. Spida in the second half only gave them 7 points. He shot 2 of 10 overall, 1 of 8. But a lot of those numbers came in the final 5 minutes or so of the fourth quarter. In fact, I'm going to confirm all that. Yeah, let me see here. Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. Let me see here. Yes, all 7 points came in the final 5 minutes for Donovan Mitchell in this game. So he was the difference maker at that point. And they finished, that fourth quarter. No, that is incorrect. Oh, wait. He was 2 of 6 in the fourth quarter. So That was the whole thing. I thought that the range filter was telling me about the last 5 minutes. But the Knicks actually outscored the Cavs in that fourth quarter, 26-24, but ended up dropping the game regardless. But Immanuel Quickley, I really liked what he was doing. There were a couple moments there during that stretch where they were like within 2 points. They got some great turnovers. Donte Divincenzo was active with his hands, causing chaos. And you thought, okay, this is it. We're going to end up connecting on a couple of these and get the lead. You know, one time was IQ coming down the lane, who had been doing, being kind of the hero in the second half. Nope. Couldn't make that shot happen. And then the same thing happened with Brunson, who missed a shot that he makes all the time. He's definitely not right. I know he gave us a very good game last night in the first game against the Cavs, and he had that other outstanding game where he hit 8 3-point shots, which is his career high. Other than those 2 games, the other 3, he's been very subpar. But I'm more confident that he will shake this off. He literally, on Friday, he could shake it off and bust out and give you 40. Randle, I'm starting to believe it's going to take a while. It really is going to take a while. And it's not going to be like he's going to have a game where he pops and then maybe 1 or 2 games, not so good, and then he pops, and then the bad games start lessening. Now, I have a feeling he's going to be kind of bad for a stretch, maybe unfortunately, another 10 games or so. And maybe by like between game 15 and game 20, we might start seeing the usual Randle that we've been accustomed to, the one that we saw last season, which we need. So then that means that the Knicks could be under 500 by the time that happens, unless this injury that kept RJ out really was just a minor thing, and it was just precaution because of the second move of back-to-back. And he comes back and he just stays his tremendous efficient self that he's been, especially from the 3-point line. He hasn't been necessarily efficient inside the arc, but he has it from the 3-point line, Mr. Barrett. In fact, I want to pull up the stats here. Here it is. Yeah, I mean, RJ is shooting. Interesting. Sometimes when you look at stuff, you're like, what? But, overall, he's shooting 56% at the rim, which is nothing great, but his long mid-range is nice, 40% for him. He's in a 67th percentile. He's hitting the 3 at a 43% clip this season. Nice. Excellent for him. Let's see, he's 9 of 21 overall there. I'll take that. If he comes back and gives us that kind of efficiency, maybe the Knicks can be at 500 by the time Randle starts kicking in, shakes off all this post-surgery malaise that he appears to be in. He also doesn't look fully locked in mentally either. Not sure what's going on. Can't read into it too much. The Cavs, I told you, I pretty much already said, Mitchell ended up with 30 points total because he did 23 in the first half, 7 in the second half. And Levert came in and gave some nice minutes in that fourth quarter. He was the second high scorer, 19 points. But, man, the Cavs, they desperately wanted to give this game away. As you can see, they got to the free throw line the same amount as we did. Oh, no, they didn't. Wait, they got 30 times the free throw line? Hold on. Going the wrong way. They only took 20 free throw attempts, but they hit on 19. Wow. Outstanding. Talk about efficiency. Tremendous. That is tremendous. Fast break points, they crushed us there, 14-8. We owned the paint, which we normally do. And, man, those free throws, we were 20 of 30. 20 of 30. Whew. We hit 5 more, which really isn't asking for that much. If we go 25 for 30, and maybe one of those 3-point shots that Randle connects on, just one, Knicks win this game. That's how close it was. That's why this was so frustrating. Next game is against Milwaukee, and I believe it's the big first game of the in-season tournament, that's exciting. I'm looking forward to just that, the whole vibe of that, and see how it goes. But this was a game that the Knicks are going to lament losing because, honestly, they could own the season series right now over the Cavs if they had just taken care of business tonight. And now we're even. There'll be a third game. Who knows who'll win that game? Hopefully it'll be the Knicks, and we'll take back control of the series, because when it comes to the playoffs, who knows? We're battling. These are our Eastern Conference competitors. We have to make statements against those kind of guys. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching this. Again, my name is George. Please subscribe, hit the thumbs up button, and drop your comments. Definitely want to hear your thoughts and feelings about this. And share this video. Share it with people. Share any of my videos. I definitely appreciate the support. I want to keep growing the channel. We're over 7,400 subscribers. Trying to get to 7,500 soon. Let's make it happen. All right. Thank you very much for watching this. Sucks the Knicks lost, but there's another game. Let's go. I will see you around the Knicks-Verse.